Welcome to Basketball Heads Live. I am your host, Glenn Pooh Harding, and we have a very, very special guest. This basketball head is an innovator, the originator of that talk in street ball basketball. He was the one that gave you that nickname. He was the one that cracked those jokes in between calling the game. He was the one that set the city on fire. We have the one and only Anthony Gumby. Gumbs.
You ready? Yeah. You have just stepped into the world of chaos. Where everybody goes hard. Come on. Go hard. Go home. Never back down. You gotta hold your own. Go hard. East Coast, go hard. West Coast, go hard. Midwest, go hard. Dirty. Hurry up, everybody, get online, buy your tickets, cause the game about to start.
Silent brother.
Thank you for having me. It's an honor to be here.
Man, it's a pleasure, man. In my short career of doing these podcasts, your name has came up in so many situations where, you know, when I've gotten on the next generation of street ball announcers, they will always refer to you.
Wow.
No matter where I would go, they was like, yo, did you get Gumby yet? Yo, you need to get Gumby on the show. So, man, I'm glad we have you here today, man.
I am so deeply honored and just thrilled just to be recognized throughout my career that people really acknowledge just my work, you know, and I'm overwhelmed. I'm very overwhelmed. And your show, I've been following it. It is off the hook.
Thank you, man.
I love it.
Especially coming from you. You've seen a lot of basketball, you've seen a lot of players. But I want to know, who introduced you to the game?
Well, I didn't start playing basketball until I was in my late teens, but I was a baseball player, softball player. But doing play-by-play, I was introduced to it through a gentleman that I'm deeply loyal to and very grateful for giving me this gift. Is Mr. Charles Williams, when we started in the King Towers tournament. It started in '69, but we didn't do it until, well, in that particular area, 1973, where we had the seats. That seating thing was, we're the only ones in Harlem with that. And there are two others by the same company that, you know, constructed that, you know, in the Bronx, Manhattan, and Brooklyn.
Well, we have it. You talk about King Towers?
Yeah.
Yeah, we have that in Brevoort.
Right.
And then there's one in Brownsville as well. So there's one in Bed-Stuy, there's one in Brownsville.
Okay.
That seating, that stadium style seating, right?
Exactly.
Yes.
Exactly. Yes. So I mean, I go way back with that. But going back, 50 years, I've done basically 30-something years in between the King Towers and Kingdom. I've done I did high school games. I've done college games. In fact, I even did Madison Square Garden, which was the first for any street ball commentators, which I was collaborated with this guy named Taz from the East Side. I mean, we killed him. I can't remember the tournament. It's been so many years. In 2008, but to be honored to be in a forum, Madison Square Garden, street ball announcers doing games in the Garden. I mean, that blew my mind.
Well, let's go back. Where were you born and raised?
I was born and raised in New York. Born in Harlem, 1953. Okay, that's my age. I'm 71.
Hey, man, you're an OG, man.
There you go. Thank
right.
you. Get used to it, baby. But anyway, I was born here in New York, and I was always in the sports, football and baseball. Basketball I love, but commentating that, it was just, I don't know, it just came naturally, I'm very comfortable around a crowd. I don't have a problem speaking my mind as long as it's not in a disrespectful way and just be funny, Everybody, we should have fun. I mean, everybody takes life so seriously and, hey, shit, everybody has problems, but we do what we do,
That's right. That's right.
Just to keep everybody happy and enjoy the game, not only for young people, but for everybody. So we should make it not even competitive, but make it as a joyful thing where we can relax, have a good laugh, and watch a good game with some good ball players.
That's all that counts, right?
Yes.
That's all that counts. Like you've seen Harlem change from when you was a kid to
Yes.
where it is now.
Yes.
What was New York like? Just give me the scenery of what was New York like when you was growing up.
Oh, it was living conditions for a lot of people. It was really hard. It was oppression, jobless, a lot of drugs, a lot of, how would you say it? Unrest. In a way, how can I say it? We were kind of denied. We were like the lost. We were kind of like the lost people in a big city where people had no hope.
That's right.
So they used to do a lot of really crazy things. If it wasn't for the Children's Aid Society and being in an environment where people could take us away from it, that's what got me into sports. Because the next thing, if you wasn't into sports, you was out there either robbing, stealing, shooting dope, getting killed, or going to jail.
That's right.
That's the era we grew up in. And I chose my life to be playing in sports. In fact, my mother and father recommended that for me, I could have been dead. I wouldn't even be here talking to you. And I can live to say that because some of the kids the 4 or 3 generations now, they don't have an idea about what people had to do to open up life. And they were trailblazers about voting, schooling, getting a job, come on, it was very hard. And my mother was a housewife. My father struggled a lot, but he made sure we had. And then when we got to the point where we were 14, 15, get a job. You know what I'm saying? We had summer jobs every year. So that was in our advantage, and there's been a lot of change. All of these buildings here, it would look like something out of Europe, bombed out. It was nothing but parking, like old burnt out buildings and people ODing, and oh, come on, it was really bad, So I've seen a lot.
Man, as a kid, I remember seeing the remnants of that in the 70s and 80s, how things were.
I can tell you about the 60s. Like you said, the remnants of what you see.
That's right.
I can tell you at the end of the 50s to the 60s, that was rough.
Wow.
So many people that tried to help us, like they were white, from the Kennedy brothers to Medgar Evers to Malcolm X, Martin Luther King. Seeing somebody getting their head blown off on television. Who does that? It was so much. And they got to know to show the history. I can remember all of this. I was a kid. I can remember I was 10 years old and Kennedy was shot on the day of my brother's birthday, November 22nd. And school was out. It's just something that you don't forget, that's like part of your life. And then nothing but assassinations. You had the Jim Crow, you had George Wallace, you had people that couldn't go to school in Arkansas. We had the military escort black people going into schools where the Kennedy brothers, didn't allow that. The South wanted to be separate. Black people were not even in existence. You understand? They don't even know. We couldn't even vote. Come on, that's crazy.
Tumultuous times.
Yes, and these kids, they need to take advantage of what people have done. People died for your freedom and your rights to this country. We helped build this country on our backs. they need to not only get into basketball, read about your history. You know, a lot of people suffered, a lot of people sacrificed on what's going on today.
Well, this is why we wanted to bring you here today, brother, because I think a generation is missing from the history, right?
Yes.
There's a lot that kids are missing, and hopefully they'll stumble on these videos and get that history and see that we're paying homage to our heroes coming up.
Yes.
You was talking about off camera where you have ran into Malcolm X, Muhammad Ali.
Yes.
What was that like? Like to even see Muhammad Ali in person is like just amazing.
Right
brother.
at the mosque on 116th Street on the downtown side of he used to greet, when you go to work, he used to greet you. But sometimes you just like bypass him and say, that was Muhammad Ali. You know, and anytime he comes to New York, that's the mosque. He can talk about the number 7 mosque there. You know, and there used to be a restaurant there. Monroe used to sit there and eat breakfast every time he had a Knick game.
Wow.
So, I mean, a lot of celebrities, you know what I'm saying? Oh, well, there was a lot of controversy when they had the big fight where the police thought they could run into the mosque. That was back in the early 60s when they first built it where the police used to think they could run in there, and they got, excuse my language, they got their ass burnt. I'll never forget that because my father said nobody's going outside. You know, that's when the Muslims and Elijah Muhammad, he used to be there.
Yes.
He was a short guy, you know. They used to, I'm telling you, and they used to do the newspapers. They walk around with the suits and sell the papers. Oh my God, I remember all of that. I was a kid. You know, the 3%ers, the 5%ers, the Muslims. You know, we used to crack jokes on them, talking about bacon sandwiches and shit like that. That gets your face kicked in too. But, you know, they used to look at us like they're ignorant black kids, you know what I'm saying? But they taught us knowledge. I'm not a Muslim, but the teaching gives you something about how we were taught and how we were raped from our real names and how we came over to this country and we just still didn't have rights then. That was back in the 60s. It was sad.
They were men of respect, right?
Yes.
You see them in the neighborhood.
And they were a threat to the United States government.
Yeah, to the establishment.
That's right.
That's right. Yep. So as this is going on, you got some major things that's happening in the sports, right?
Yes.
You know, from the end of the 50s, they started integrating blacks into the NBA.
Yes.
Right. So,
yes.
so for the first time,
I'm not even too far from Jackie Robinson. He was in 47. I'm born in 53. And we still wasn't there, quite there yet. We had teams in the 60s that still wouldn't accept black people, like black ball players. Willie Mays was going to go, before he came here to New York, he was supposed to go to Boston. Boston's still like, they still like got that thing going, you understand? And that's what made me get into sports, because when Roberto Clemente, all of them, you know, it just, as a young guy, it just, maybe I was a little bit advanced in my way of thinking, but we had better talent than the whites and whoever ran these establishments. And I think we were a threat to them, you know, a lot. But I still couldn't understand, this is the United States. We fought in other lands and still was treated like we didn't exist. We helped build this country.
Like we would go to war
and
come back and not get any kind of rights. Yeah, my dad experienced that during the Korean War.
Even some of the enemies said like, y'all fighting for this person, but y'all still go, it's like, you know, we're fighting 2 wars. You come home and you're fighting this. You get murdered just walking your kid down the street. Who does that? Come on. So, I mean, some of these kids, sports come from even when racism arrived. But see, that's what made us even better. We were gifted. Not only blacks, but even the Indians, the Native American Indians. I still feel for them. That's why Muhammad Ali, a lot of people don't know this. He put up a lot of money. He always supported the Indians. He still has a foundation. He's been doing that shit for like, even in the late 60s. because he knew that the land was taken and we were going through the same thing, and they were here before everybody. So he was a man of justice. He was a man of freedom. That's why his boxing and his skills got me into sports a lot, because sports is not only politics, it's history. It's something to learn. So it's not even your talent, it's basically the racism and what you had to go through to prove yourself.
Yeah, we had to prove ourselves so much in so many ways. And after, you know, the turmoil of the 60s came the 70s, right?
Yes.
Because the 70s, we didn't say things were perfect, but we were starting to have our strides, right?
Yes.
We were integrated into the sports, the on sports at that time.
Yes.
And we started to make our way, right?
Yes.
And that filtered down into the streets of New York City, right?
Yes.
And the basketball.
Yes.
Do you remember the first game where you saw outside and who was playing? Or a memorable game that you remember that drew you to the game?
Watching Joe Hammond. I heard so much. Pee Wee Kirkland. I went to school with his brothers. 117th Street, Milbank, Buster. Yes, Pee Wee Kirkland.
Were they playing against each other?
No, they used to play with each other. Like, in other words,
What?
They used to play with each other.
Who was gonna be able to guard them two, bro?
I know,
On one team?
and those were the legends in Harlem. I mean, that's what made us so proud. In fact, Joe could even tell you this. Here's a guy that never went to college, straight out of the streets, got a tryout for the Los Angeles Lakers, and this is when Jerry West and them was around.
Wow.
They offered him a $100,000 contract off the streets. Joe stole from the streets. He bust Jerry in the asses.
Hold on. They offered him $100,000.
Yes.
Did he turn it down? I heard he turned it down.
Yeah. Now, I'm not sure, you gotta look at Google with that, but I know he made us proud when they got him over to Los Angeles, but he had his own style, and he wasn't up to the people that own the Lakers. You know what they say, get this nigga out of here. You understand? Because number one, he was dominant and he didn't give a shit.
Right.
He had more talent than anybody on that court. But Jerry, you played against Jerry West and you coming out the streets, people breaking their arms in colleges trying to get drafted. That's how good he was. I'm not playing.
And if he succeeds, that means the floodgates of the street ball.
Oh my God, it would have been open.
Integrated to the NBA.
Oh my God, it would have been.
The establishment probably would have had a hard time with
They
that.
had a hard time with that, but he was our hero back then.
Wow.
Yes, please. And Joe, and I even commentated a lot of his games when I was coming up in the ranks.
What?
Yo, my first game doing him was in 1974. And that next day I did a Saturday game where he scored 72 points at Rucker. 54 in the first half. It was a muggy Friday night. And somebody said, Joe said, I'm going uptown, I got a game. He played one game in that night at the King Towers and went up and had a game. So we took a cab up there, me and my man. Friday, it was the hottest, I can remember this. Friday night was muggy. They had the dead backboards, like what do you call it, the thin thing? Aluminum, I call it the aluminum backboard.
They were 10.
They were 10,
Yeah.
54 in the same spot, first half.
He was a backboard shooting guy?
Yeah.
Wow.
And you knew where he was going, he still was killing them. 54 in the first half.
And no three-point line.
And no three-point line. 72 throughout the game. 72. Nobody has broken that record. I was there. I witnessed that.
So Joe Hammond had one of the best jump shots you ever seen.
Yeah, so smooth. And the dribbling, a great passer, you know. And he doesn't miss. And he's very confident in his shots. Somebody he's shooting, don't even look. You know, come on, this guy, he was amazing. That was in his later part of his life when he was really killing them.
Wow.
And I just started commentating that.
I sat down with him and Sam Worthing at a high school game a couple of years back.
In fact, I was sitting with you that time. I was there, and it was in the stands.
It was at Elmcore.
Yeah, Elmcore and King Gardens.
just
That's right.
To listen to him.
And you look good then too. You was handsome. You look good.
Man, just to hear him talk basketball. And I tell everybody, you could tell a guy with a high IQ by the way he talks about the game.
Yes.
And his IQ is off the charts.
Yes.
And to sit back and hear him and Sam talk about the game was amazing, man. And hopefully I can get them both to sit down.
I would love to sit here and be the fly on the wall. Because when I was doing a game, and Joe said, "Come here," and I looked, and Joe, he said, "Look who's here." And Sam had a little cane, and he was sitting there. He said, "I remember your name was Gumby." I said, "Yeah." I said, "Oh, wow. Yo, Sam Worthy." I bugged out.
Right.
I even had 2 glasses of water. No, all right. I had a bottle of water. I'm drinking it. All right. Just to see him. But he noticed the way I was talking, because I did 3 games there. That's right. They was in the stands at Kew Gardens. That's right. We were doing the game.
You ever called the game when Sam was playing?
No, never. I wish I would. That's what he said. Because Joe said, Joe talks very, low key. And he said, "Yo, this guy's good." He said, "No, I heard him." This was said. "I heard this guy. He should have been in sports in a booth a long time ago." But it's just fun to me. I have fun. It was something new, and we enhanced the game. So, you were there. That's right. You were definitely there.
Definitely. And it's so crazy because on 2 occasions we was around each other and didn't even know it. Now we're just figuring it out.
Isn't that ironic?
Yeah.
And I like to thank your crew. I love these guys.
Nah, it's my people.
I appreciate
my films always on the go.
Yo, I appreciate you guys. Thank you so much.
Producer, director.
Yeah.
Let's go back to your first game and how that impacted you to do it on a long haul for 30 years.
Yeah. Shit, 50 years.
50 years of calling games?
Yeah, calling the games.
Wow.
50 years. These are memorabilia for people that I even got trophies from this place, that place. Like I said, I done games all over the city. I even was on Barbito's ESPN program one time, and this guy that used to come to the game, he was young, but now he does the games in Queens, and he stepped up to me and called me Mr. Gumby, and I do remember him, and I said, "No, you don't have to call me that," and the love that I got, because I used to tell him, "No, you keep doing what you're doing." But
Barbito's a good friend of mine.
Yeah, oh my God, please. He had me on Bounce Magazine. I did interviews, when he did that thing with all the commentators all over the city. I wasn't too thrilled, but I did it for him. Because some of the commentators, it's entertainment, 15 minutes of fame. They're not into the game. They're not into the history. They don't do their research. Everybody say, "Well, where's Gumby?" I don't do a lot of interviews because a lot of interviewers that want to interview me, journalists, I say, don't do their research. They have it wrong. I don't do too many interviews. When you called me, I was honored because I heard about you. You understand? You're a good-looking kid. Can't play with you. Listen, you understand? But again, you know your thing. You know history. You know about street ball. Some people just want their names out. I denied a lot of people. A lot of people wanted me to be on their shows. I can't do it because they're not true to the game. Get to the history and know what you're talking about. There's a lot of people that opened up the gates. I know I'm a trailblazer. I don't have to brag about it.
Yeah, because you're talking about two guys that came before you.
Yes. Come on,
But you remember, one was Glenn Jones?
Yes.
And the other?
Gerard Garvin.
Gerard Garvin.
They were in front of me, so I got the shot. You understand?
So how did that happen? How did that happen when you got the shot and you stepped into center court to do your thing?
In fact, I'd be behind the table. Everybody has
You started behind the table?
Yeah, behind the table. I don't do walk up and run up on the court.
Oh, okay.
No, we don't do that, and I still don't do that. All right? I make it official. I make it look good. Come on. I do play-by-play. We be making up shit. Like, we have an old phone, we have an old television, and we say, ooh, he's got the truck back there. Yeah, we just being imaginative, That's how we roll. You know, I don't have to go out there, run up and down. You know, even if I had good legs, I still don't do that. You understand? Right behind the table, I want to be next to the scorer. I want to be next to the people that's on the books, so I can give my output to the crowd, tell them the time and the score, and I work with the referees. I don't have to be out there distracting the ball players, that running up and down. I don't believe it. That's my style. That's their style. But
yeah, and look, as time goes on, people start to create new ways to do things.
And I ain't mad at them.
Right.
I'm not changing to that. I'm still the funniest. I still snap on you. You're playing. You're in the crowd. You're wearing a tight, a crooked weave. I don't care. I'm there. Okay. I'll tell you in a minute. Or you wearing your sister's outfit. You understand? You're wearing a polyester suit. I'm gonna let you know. Anyway, anybody that wears a polyester suit after 90, you're flammable. That's the truth. I'm serious. And we had a lot of people that wear that. But hey, that's what's going on. You know?
Oh man, I remember we was talking on camera. You was talking about Richie Adams, right? And I want to get into this. Before you even start to get to Richie, where did the giving the guys names come from? Because that's what you innovated.
Yeah, I did. It's just like some of my friends say, something wrong with you. But I mean mentally, because there's just certain things that I see in them, like the lizard, there's a snake, there's Skylab, which is at Cersei. Skylab, kids, y'all don't even know what Skylab was. It was a satellite. But we'll talk about that anyway. at a science convention.
Right.
But anyway, Richie Adams, when I say animal, I mean, you got football guys that they call him the Beast, this and that. Richie Adams played so aggressively and so differently as a tall 6'7" guy, could score it well. But his thing was defense. And when he did it, he had a smile on his face like he loved it. You know, like you got linebackers, like in football, you got guys that like to hit quarterbacks with a laugh, and that's in him. He was different, and he was fearful, you know? He was so fearful when people usually take big guys up and make them look like fools, not Richie Adams. Oh, Richie Adams was an animal. He make you look bad, you know? He was the only guy I've ever seen that loved to play defense and was enjoying it.
Catch you on the top of the
Oh my God, and laugh at you.
Block your shot, grab it out the air.
Out the air, against the boards and laugh at you. Who does that, you know? And it was strange, it's different. Everybody else, they want to be nice. You got to score points, don't play defense. Not Richie Adams. So that changed the game. You understand? And I always said the animal. And I used to make that noise, oh, the animal. And the crowd used to go, oh, you know. So that's how he got his name.
Right.
I mean, he can tell you to this day. I mean, people credit me for giving some names, but they deserve it because, like I said, I'm neutral. You know, I mean, if you do great, I'm going to give you a name. It's going to stick with you. And if you got a name and you talking about, call me this, yeah, I'll call you all right. Yeah, there you go.
So you couldn't ask for a name. The name had to be given.
It has to be given. That's it. When I do games, it has to be given. I'm like the Pope. Here you go. I'm blessing you with this. We don't do that. You understand? We don't do that. You don't give. I don't care. You didn't come out of Sing Sing. I don't know your name. Yeah. Your name is Slash? Okay, it's Slash. I don't know that. You understand? Don't tell me your name is Slash. It's not to me. You got to prove it to me. Because you use that name, then you must be a killer. You understand? Let me see what you got. And sometimes you don't have to ask. These guys do not ask a name. I give you a name, it's gonna work with you.
Well, one of the famous games I remember stories when Dr. J was playing at the Rucker, and he said they was calling him the Claw, and he didn't like that.
No,
so
he didn't.
He went to the table.
Yeah, he did.
It was like, so what do we call you? And he said, Doctor, because I'm making house calls.
And he'll work with you.
Hey, listen, if he get to name himself, can you argue with him?
No, not with the doctor. The Claw, yeah. That Claw, I seen them hands.
Did you see him play live?
Yes, I seen him in the pro record when I was a kid. When if he smacked anybody in the face, the fingers would go around your face. That's how long his fingers was. Yeah, the claw, right? Let his ass slap me. I said, damn, he must beat up his wife a lot. Cause come on, that's
What
crazy.
was the games like? What was the games like when you showed up as a kid and just give us a picture of what was Rucker like and
It was-
and let us envision that in our mind
It was-
of what it was like back then.
It was so gratifying because people seen their heroes, live, being in their neighborhood. Your man, I like this guy. Yeah, we'll talk later. Anyway, no,
was there people like I seen the pictures of people on the fences, like on top of the roof?
They didn't care.
Right.
They would have hung over the railing on the project's roof, just to see their stars come in their neighborhood. Are you kidding me? Oh my God! You see them on television, you see them, in news, but you see them play. But in your neighborhood, you couldn't even. The police. And I know they used to have a fit. They used to close off the streets. There's no cars. It'd be packed.
They was closed off the.
They closed it off. It'd be packed. I'm the only guy in the King Towers that had guys on the trees. I still hold that record. I don't know why I still get butterflies. Now, before I did the game, we go to the center, walk up that ramp, and the sky. The sky be gray with smoke. I don't even know what every game I used to do, it used to be like it was my first game. I guess it was butterflies until I had a couple of drinks. Then I'm with it, you know what I'm saying? So that's the way it was uptown. It was really nice. But to see my favorite ball players play in my neighborhood, in Harlem, was a treat. I'm serious.
All right. So, all right, listen. Is there a game that you remember? Let's try to focus on a game that you remember that was so good that you got caught up in it so much that you started watching the game more so of that's it.
Yeah, I'm thinking about
started-
74. I thought I was at Rackett's Island.
That you started watching the game and got lost in it and forgot to start commentating. Was it a game that you maybe got kind of lost in because the game was so good at King Towers?
Oh my God. There's plenty of times I got lost, you be so overwhelmed with the crowd. You be so overwhelmed, even if it's a team that you like, but they're on the opposite team. That person is busting the other team's ass. And the crowd, you get the crowd to know. It's not a one-sided thing. When you play in that stadium, everybody gets love from it. You know why? Because, number one, if you didn't play there, and I remember Luca the Saka, we had a lot of coaches, and that was scouting, you know what I'm saying? That was very impressive. We all got into the game, but sometimes I lose my mind when I do see a really, really good game. Well, I'll lose it, and I'm so overwhelmed. When Santos, all right, and I first met, Cesar. You ever heard of him? We call him the Spanish Dr. J. He was just like, he's not with us now. He couldn't speak no English. I used to call his nickname was Speaking No English. That's how I used to announce him. Speak no English with the ball, speak no English jams, and everybody got crazy with that. And he enjoyed that.
He was that good?
He was that good. Oh my God. Santos?
Yes, I heard it. Yeah.
Get on the Google, get with him, and he'll tell you all about it.
Is he still around?
No, he's passed away a couple of years. No, Santos is
No,
here.
that's what I'm saying. Santos.
Oh, Santos is still here.
Yes, that's what I'm saying. Let's make that happen.
Yeah, we can do that.
Make that happen.
Oh, please.
For sure, because his name comes up a lot as well.
Santos is the godfather of basketball for Latino ball players, because at that time, we had no Latino ball players playing in black tournaments. And I think that was a damn shame. You know why? Because they just not only play baseball, they can play other sports. Just like, you go to certain places in the country, you're from New York, all y'all know how to do is play basketball.
Yeah.
Wrong again. I went to North Carolina and I played for my company. They didn't think I played bad. I wasn't that good. But I could play baseball. That's amazing, because all they used to say, is look at our tournaments, sometimes on ESPN, and the Rucker was the biggest thing.
Yeah.
Pro Rucker, everybody knew about Pro Rucker. I lived in Florida, I lived in North Carolina, visited Virginia. That's all they talk about, Pro Rucker. Hey.
Did you commentate in Pro Rucker as well?
Yeah, I did that in 1975. I did 2 games there. I had followers that still would come up to hear me.
But your home was King Tower.
King Towers, yeah. King Towers.
So now we started to move on, and you started to do and accomplish some other things, right?
Yes.
You started to do college games. You was in Madison Square Garden.
I did tournaments all over the city.
And now people are starting to, I want to say copy your style, but take what you did and put their own spin on it.
They put their own spin on it, but they do it people like to rap, this and that. I'm just strictly basketball. I know basketball. I have a different style. I don't have to take a half, 15 seconds to crack a joke. I crack a joke in the middle of my commentary. Timeout, forget it. You wear something fucked up, then I got you. You're gonna hear it. You understand? You know, I mean, I let everybody be involved in what I do. I have more fans focus on my voice and what I say because I have the mic and I control the mic. You understand? When you got that mic, the mic is more important because you can control things.
To my controller, right?
Yes.
The master of ceremony.
Yes. And I was even, oh God, I think the hardest thing I had to do was Jekyll and I's concert when they had that in the King Tower thing. They asked me, Gumms, would you like to, you ever think about hosting a concert?
You talking about the rap crew?
Yeah.
Andre Harrell and his partner.
Yeah. Gumms,
wow.
And I said, no, I never done that. They said, no, I know you because you're a natural. It took 3 hours for them to convince me because I don't do, concerts, I had a couple of drinks. I went out there. It was over. It was it. I had a great time because they say my voice is articulate. I know what I want to say, and even if the game is boring, we're gonna laugh anyway. Because sometimes we say, this game is dead. Pull the plug. Then we get involved. I get involved with everybody. Let's keep them laughing. I'm just naturally like that. That's all. But I've learned things that I didn't even know I had, you understand? But when you got them asking me to do a concert or just to headline it or introduce it because they had other people there, I thought that was an honor, but that was scary. I only do basketball,
Well, I remember you telling me in the beginning they wanted you to follow a script.
Oh, right? God, that wasn't working. That was not working.
They wanted you to follow. What kind of script did they give you? If you could remember some of the things.
Sponsorship, this is this.
So you had to read off the sponsors.
Yeah.
Which is important because those of you that's giving them the money.
I'll do the sponsorship, and then I was like, okay, that's enough for this shit,
But would you?
do the time and score.
Okay, time and score. Yes.
That was not working for me. Okay.
So did you integrate that without doing it in that order? But would you integrate that during the game and let people know the score?
Oh, yeah, I do that. I do that on a regular, but
right.
I had to do that. I was like, this is not working. Because you don't write a script and they're like, who the hell? Let's do this. I'll do that for 5 minutes and then I just lose it. And then, but the crowd is into it though. I'm not no hurt, no harm, And there were some people because he was afraid because this was something new.
Right.
And I used to snap on everybody, from the drug dealers to Muslims. I snapped on everybody, but it was all in fun. Nothing hard. Even though I knew a lot of things and a lot of secrets, but we don't put them out there like
That's
that.
right. But you brought.
We don't get personal.
You brought the community together.
Yeah, we want the community and have a good time. Because sometimes the game can be boring, and I'd be like this. Oh God! But when I say that, they start laughing because they say, "Who heard the number today?" The people start laughing. Anybody played 742 today? And everybody busts out laughing. So we get into the community with community people.
Right.
So that's what we did. That's what I did. So something new that was a little different. than what they wanted me to do, and that's how it came out.
Did you see Tiny Archibald play?
Yes, I did.
So I'm gonna
Pro Rucker.
I'm gonna run up some names, right? You said Pee Wee Kirkland, you said Joe Hammond,
Yes.
Tiny Archibald. What do you thought about his game, which we all know, but
Yeah, excuse me for a minute. I'd like to thank everybody that had tiny feet that did the grapes. Thank you.
Tiny Archibald.
Tiny, left-handed. He was a monster, and he could jump. He could jump. I seen him playing pro rock. He was fast. In fact, I'm gonna tell you something. He gave a lot of guys under 6 feet a lot of hope back in those days.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? If you were 6 feet, you were suicide. He was tiny. You're right. He was tiny. He was another one of my heroes in pro rocker. That's what made me start going to pro rocker on a regular basis, when they used to announce things in the paper. Who's coming to pro rocker? What pro is coming?
Really? This used to be in the paper?
That used to be in the paper back in the day.
Wow.
You know, the sports section.
Yeah.
They had a little thing in the rocker and stuff like that, because now they starting to grow, because they were bringing in pros. There you go. I remember the white boy I was talking about?
Yes.
Van Arsdale brothers.
Got you.
There you go. That was
Got
the
you.
only white. Oh my God! One played for the Knicks and one played for Baltimore. I will never forget that. See, that's how far I'm going back.
Those are the only two white guys that
There
you
you
saw play the
go.
Rutgers.
There you go.
Wow.
Remember I said that?
Yeah.
Van Arsdale brothers.
What about Charlie Scott?
Charlie Scott.
Charlie Scott, he played for Boston Celtics. He was the first player to play for first black player to play for North Carolina.
I know Charlie Scott. I'm trying to remember if he played there. You know, at the right, if I seen him play.
Yeah. And if you ain't seen him play, that's cool.
Yeah,
That's
I mean,
cool.
yeah, because I ain't gonna lie to you. Excuse me for a minute.
What about, we're gonna move up. What about Master Rob?
Master Rob, love him. Now he can tell you, and he bust out laughing. I used to call him a little alien because he had a big head. I didn't even say Gumbs, man, come on. You know, Master Rob, he passes, I used to say the guy with the eyes in the back of his head can pass, score at will. He only jumps this high, look, jumps this high. And he was a master with pass. He was the most guy with assists that I have that was overwhelmingly stupid in my mind. The passing, scoring at will, unselfish. He could score silently. He could score 20-something points and you wouldn't even know he did it, because he feeds everybody. Master Rob was a master in his craft.
Wow.
But I mean, I used to, you know, I used to make him laugh because he reminded me of the alien. He got the big head with the eyes. You know what I'm saying? Nate Washington, Dwayne Washington. Yo, I remember Pearl Washington. He played.
Now, okay, so
He played the King.
So hold on. So I had Kenny Hutchinson on the show. Kenny Hutchinson said there was a game between him and Pearl pulled up on a motorcycle. And he said Pearl gave him the business that day. Like they was going at it, he said, but he had to give
Kenny
Pearl
Hutchinson.
props.
How about Kenny Hutchinson?
Kenny Hutchinson was one of our greatest guards that come out of New York City, giving everybody the business. Right? But he said Pearl Washington pulled up to King Towers, and him and Pearl had a battle that went down for the ages. And rumor has it, and he even mentioned that Pearl, you know, did his thing that game.
Yes.
His aura and the way he carried himself, and his
Kenny
legend.
Hutchinson, yes.
When we talking about from high school to street ball,
right? Yeah,
and
because
then-
they go back a long time.
Right.
With that high school thing. You
Right.
understand? Yeah,
And
because
then-
I've heard about that, and they grew up. I remember Frank Edwards was in Franklin High
Right.
School, and he was the biggest thing in the projects because he played with the Philadelphia 76ers with Dr. J. He came from this neighborhood.
Wow.
Yes, and I known Frank when he played in the King Tower. Like I said, King Towers opened up the door for the Kingdom because we had nothing, but we had funding from other sources, but it brought the biggest talent, like you said, Kenny Hutchinson,
Pearl Washington.
Pearl Washington.
You had Walter Berry.
Berry, oh my God. Walter was a little thin guy. You understand? Gary Springer with the knees. Oh God, we used to call the bionic knees.
Gary Springer jump to the roof.
Yes. Sessa, Abjack. Oh, St. Edward's team. Batman and Robin. Alan Lorick and Ronnie Thomas. I used to call them Batman and Robin. Oh my God.
What about Moto Carlton?
Yes.
Moto Green, Carlton Green.
Carlton Green. Yo, he was a high jumping guy too.
Yeah, I heard about him.
Jesus Christ, we should have sat here and we should have made the list because you're bringing back certain games, but it's bringing back a lot of things that I couldn't remember.
Right.
You know.
Right. Well, listen, I want to get into our top 5 right now because we're going to have some fun.
Okay.
All right? Now, you only can name 5 people.
Okay, can I name 6?
No.
Okay, because
Can't name 6. Can't name 6.
Top 5. Top 5.
Go ahead.
We only can name 5, all right? We only can name 5.
Laughing. Go ahead.
All right. The top 5 players
Okay.
that you ever saw play at King Towers.
Okay. Can
Only
I go?
5.
Okay, give me a second.
Yes.
Okay. Daddy Boogie, Richie Adams, Kevin Williams, Master Rob,
One more.
Alonzo Jackson.
Alonzo Jackson. I've never heard of that name. Tell me about Alonzo Jackson.
Alonzo Jackson was something that it was abnormal. Alonzo Jackson was brass. He was smooth. He was fast. He'll step up to you. He can shoot. He can take punishment. He played defense. He was very underrated because he was around a cloud of other people. You understand? He did his job. Very silent, very humble. And the reason why I put him there is because I used to come up to him and he said, how did I do, Gumbs? I said, you fucked up, but you the man. You know why? Because you're a team player. That's why I put him in the top 5.
No doubt. All right. Top 5 tournaments in Harlem.
Oh, God.
From your point of view, top 5 tournaments.
All right, give me a second. Okay, Pro Rucker.
Uh-huh.
Kingdom.
Uh-huh.
King Towers.
Uh-huh.
Goat.
Uh-huh.
Milbank.
Milbank. Now, what's the difference between King Towers and King Dome? Aren't they the same place?
Same place,
Different eras?
different eras.
Okay. Okay.
Same people on their way out. When I say that, those that played in the King Towers got a chance to be more exposed to another generation. You understand? Playing together. Joe Lewis. Joe Hammond. We had a mixture of Asians, Latinos, Dominicans, a few Mexicans. So it was a different breed of ball.
Okay. All right. All right. Now, not including you, because we're going to put you up here, right?
Okay.
If you had to pick 5 street ball announcers.
Oh God, this is what we're gonna have a problem. Go ahead.
Okay, this is
Okay.
why. This last
Okay.
one. I had to kind of get you in trouble some kind of way.
Okay.
From your perspective, who would it be?
Taz, Ronnie Green, Big Ziti from the East Side.
Two more.
Oh, 2 more. Oh God. Wow. That's it for me. I can't.
You, 2 more? You want to fill that up with Tango and Cash?
No comment.
You can name 2 more street ball announcers that you like.
That's it. No comment. That's it.
Okay?
That's it.
He named top 3. Since he Gumby, he's the man. We're going to leave at top 3.
Thank you.
Okay.
Stop laughing.
If you had one thing you could change about your career in street ball, announce it. What would it be?
A bigger bottle of wine. That's about it. Other than that, I'm good.
You wouldn't change anything?
I wouldn't change anything because, like I said, I do me, people do them, whatever they do. I don't have to change anything. Basically, I have my own style. I still have a good fan base because basically it's all about fun. It's not being self-promoting. And I know I opened up the doors, or I know I'm a trailblazer. I don't have to be, how would you say, putting myself out there. I'm very humble, but I don't get the love that I'm supposed to get. But again, I have no problem with that. You understand? I'm being called on for history. You guys giving me the shout out and the shot to keep the record straight. And I appreciate that. Thank you so much.
Nah, let me tell you, man, it's an honor to have you here. I learned so many things. You gave people a history lesson. We talked about the beginning of your career, street ball announcing. We talked about how you changed the game, right? And that's important because we want to highlight the game changes in New York City. New York City is the mecca of basketball, and you were one of the people that paved the way for a lot of people.
And I'm not, I'm not mad at these commentators. You understand? But you know, when somebody gives you a key to a door where your talent and you analyze, how would you say, giving you the courage to do what I do, and you have a change into it. I have no problem with that.
But they all give you props, man.
No, not at all.
Listen, I
have children.
Listen, let me tell you this.
Yes.
I'm gonna tell you this. I'm gonna keep it a buck.
Okay.
Every street ball announcer who came on my show have given you props. They all have mentioned your name.
Thank you.
Every last one of them. And I'm gonna tell you the truth. Every last one of them have gave you props. They will always say, listen, we do what we do, but we have to give it to the pioneers. And they always mention you.
Thank you, I'm glad.
I want to be on record saying that all the guys who I've interviewed, and I've interviewed a lot of the top guys who are out today, and they all revere to you, brother.
I am very appreciative, and I really appreciate them. Thank you for giving me that honor, you know, because I don't get that right now.
Whether you know it or not, they have a lot of love. They have a lot of love.
And I'm hearing it from you, so
yes.
I know it has to be gradually real with that. I appreciate that. Thank you.
I wouldn't even put that out there.
No.
And
I mean, really.
You're the reason why, or they're the reason why that I made sure that when I saw you that day, I had to speak to you and ask you to come on the show because they all revered you. And it wouldn't be right if I had all of those guys on the show and not get the guy who kind of innovated it all.
Right.
I told you I had Broly here.
Right.
Broly here was sat here the other day, and he talked about how the reason why he sits down and pay homage to you guys.
I appreciate that.
You know?
I appreciate that. I mean,
no doubt, man.
Really, I'm just overwhelmed, and I appreciate you and your crew and the people out there. Thank you so much, and it means a lot to me, and we're going to keep going for the next 100 years. It's open. Thank you.
That's right. Well, listen, we're about to get out of here. I just want to say thank you to the legend, Mr. Anthony Gumby Gumbs, for coming out and chopping it up with your boy, man. You know what I'm saying? We in Harlem, baby, at the Aloft Hotel, Frederick Douglass Boulevard, between 123rd and 124th. Come down, come chill at the bar, come watch the games, come get a room, enjoy a night or weekend, because this is Basketball Heads Live, the official home for New York City basketball. Peace.
Y'all ready? Yeah. You have just stepped out into the world of